Hello, my name is Matthew Jacobus, and my topic today is using social media as a promotional and marketing tool. Just a little background on myself. I've worked security in Rochester nightclubs for about 10 years. My duties have included working indoor for crowd control, or also working the front door doing identification check. One of the widespread problems that's affecting all the clubs in Rochester is the decline in the number of customers. This could be due to increased competition between the clubs or just a general decrease in the economy all over. My proposal today is to persuade Tom Smith, which is the owner of Pearl Nightclub, the club I currently work at, to utilize social media as a promotional and marketing tool to increase the number of customers that enter our building. Now, there are a lot of advantages to using social media. Cost, mobility, networking, and widespread communication are the four big ones. First, I'm going to talk about cost. Cost is probably the most important one because there is little to zero cost to using social media. There's zero cost to sign up for an online profile and utilize the social media. No setup charges whatsoever. There's no reoccurring charges also. Mobility. Having a smartphone is one of the fastest growing technologies in all of the world. Practically everyone has a smartphone. The social media networks have taken advantage of this. They've created mobile apps and they're available to download free on all your smartphones. So you have the ability to access all your social networking sites on the go as long as you have cellular reception. The next advantage is networking. There is a widespread network that's already in place. You don't have to create it. All you have to do is access it. By creating an online profile, you have the ability to reach almost 1 billion people with just one post. And that is a good transition into widespread communication. Because of the vast size of the network and the number of people that are already established, you can communicate with one-on-one person, you can communicate with a group of people, or you can communicate with a massive amount of people. It all depends on the network that you're in. So you can reach many, many people with just one post, picture upload, link, or video. With all the advantages that social networks have, of course there's going to be some disadvantages. I feel like with a little bit of preparation and a little bit of education, you can prevent these disadvantages from becoming a major stopper in utilizing the social media networks. The first one is negative publicity. Anytime you post something online, you face the potential of negative feedback, such as somebody not being happy with your establishment, possibly a negative encounter with one of your employees. And with the proper education and the proper feedback tools, you can limit, prevent that negative publicity from becoming an issue with your establishment. The second disadvantage is the social policy misuse. There's sort of unwritten rules about social media, such as posting too many times, posting irrelevant information, bringing your political views into your business. And as long as you have that little bit of education, that little bit of forewarning of what to do and what not to do, you really can prevent these disadvantages and you can turn them around and make them advantages for yourself. Now, some of the examples of the social media sites which I'm going to recommend to Tom Smith that he utilizes to help grow his customer base. The four examples are Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, and Google+. Let's start out with Facebook because right now it's the largest one. Facebook was created in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg. Currently there's over 750 million users. It's the largest network available. One of the benefits of using Facebook is you get to interact with people not only on a one-to-one level, but you can also create user groups, such as the Pearl Nightclub user group. You can invite people to join into this group. You can control who's in and out by deleting users. And you can reach them on a little bit more personal level, such as promotions, giveaways, special events, and that type of thing. You also allow your customers and the people inside that group to post photos of themselves when they're in your club. And you can monitor that and secure it and make sure that it's focused on your club. The next social media tool I would say would be Twitter. Twitter is the fastest growing social media tool. It was created in 2006, and currently there's over 1 million tweets per day. That's 1,140 character pieces of information that get put out there in the network for people to read, digest, comment, and you can use it as a really good social media tool. The next one is Foursquare. Foursquare was created in 2009, and it's a location-based social media service. What that means is it uses your GPS unit inside your smartphone, and when you go to an establishment, you check in. What that does is it allows your friends and their friends to see where you are, let them know that where you're at is busy, there's a lot of people there, and it gives a small bit of communication ability so you can tell your friends to meet you there. And it has benefits such as when you check in the most, you become the mayor. As a business owner, you can use it to promote specials. If you check in so many times, you get a certain percentage off your next order. You can get a free cover charge if you're the mayor, that type of thing. The fourth social media network site is Google+. Now, Google+ just came out about a month and a half ago. Right now it's still in beta form, and you can only access it with an invite. I personally have an invite. I've used it. I feel like it's going to be very fast growing. It utilizes many different tools such as Gmail, which is the Google email, Maps, which is a location-based service offered by Google, and it also gives you a combination of Facebook and Twitter all rolled into one. It's a pretty neat service. And because it's an invite only, I think that getting in on the ground floor would be an added benefit to any bar owner. Now let's talk a little bit about staffing. This is one of the best benefits of using social media. You don't have to hire a staff. It doesn't cost anything. There's no cost to you whatsoever. So as the bar owner, you are the only staff that uses it. So it's just your time that you put into it. No cost, 100% security. Nobody else will have the passwords. Nobody else that has access to these social media tools, so you're in full control. If you want to put out a special, if you want to take away a special, if you want to show a picture that happened in your club, or if you want to delete a picture that somebody put up in your club, because you're the only staff, you have control over everything. This also ties into the budget. To have a profitable business, you want to minimize your expenses and maximize your profits. Now, obviously, Pearl Nightclub is profitable the way it stands right now, but because of the widespread issue of just not having enough customers, using social media without any expenses is going to maximize your profits. It's going to give you the most amount of revenue while not increasing your expenses one bit. Okay, so in my conclusion, nightclubs in general are facing a standard problem. It's the same problem. They're just not getting the same amount of people coming into their bars, into their clubs, into their establishments. And like I said, whether it's the economy or whether it's just increasing competition, other bars and restaurants are using social media. So I feel that it would be in Tom Smith's best advantage to utilize these social media tools and increase the number of customers and solve that problem. I want to thank you for your time, and does anybody have any questions? Rob?
How did you come up with the idea of using social media to solve this particular issue?
Well, currently I'm an avid social media user. I get a lot of my information on any bands I want to see, any nightclubs that are running promotions, just any information of nightlife that's going on in the city. Because I'm an avid user, I get all my information through social media channels. So it's tested. I know that it works. Any other questions? Chris?
Which associated benefit of social media do you think is the best selling point of the new technology, and why?
I would say the best benefit would have to be cost. Anytime you can add value to your establishment without incurring any costs, you have the ability to really maximize profits. And to be profitable, you really have to keep your expenses down and keep your revenues high. So cost to me is the best benefit. Any more? Okay, I just want to thank you again.